What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Studio Saturday. Today we are going to be discussing and showing you how to use the clone stamp tool to remove objects or anything that is distracting in a photo from either the background, foreground, or even on your subject. I figure the best way to show you guys this is I'm going to open up a automotive picture. I was recently at a car meet, and cars, although they are great, often contain in backgrounds a lot of people, things that aren't necessarily the best. So I'm just going to scroll through here really quick. So I'll show you how to remove things in the foreground, and I'll show you how to remove stuff like this that hugs into the subject. We'll even get rid of some of that. So basically, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go through just our standard raw data. We're going to edit through. We're going to adjust our white balance to where we find appropriate. Could turn down our exposure a little bit just because it's going to be a bit of a heavier theme, or a darker head. And I mean, you guys don't really know what color the truck is, so we can make the truck whatever color we want, although we are going to keep it towards that navy blue. And then I'm going to leave this image whole as it is right now before I do cropping. So you guys could just see a little before and after right here. So this is your clone stamp tool. There's clone stamp and pattern stamp tool. We're just going to be simply focusing on the clone stamp tool in normal mode. We're going to set this up to around 400 right now. Obviously we're going to duplicate out our background, so this way in case we mess up. This is going to be our clone layer. We can change our hardiness to around 20%. And what you want to do, we're going to zoom in. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to remove this from the image. So we're going to take something similar from right about here, and we're going to slide inward slightly. So we don't want this extra line here, obviously, because that's just the paving line. So we're going to take from right about there. We're actually going to increase our brush size. Just going to pull it over. We're actually going to turn this down a little. As you guys could see, you can't even really tell it was there. You can even reduce hardiness all the way down, and you can adjust your opacity or your flow. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to remove that truck, because obviously on this car we don't have to worry about a license plate or anything else like that. So we don't have to worry about pulling a license plate or even worrying about any of this. But here we can also do this. So you see that light pole's a little bit in the way. It's kind of distracting. So we're going to grab this section of the bridge right here. Drag it over. Line it up. And draw it away. We're actually going to reduce this really quick. We're just going to grab that. And there you go. Now the light pole's gone. Now the next thing to go will be the car. So we're just going to click here again. Paint that in really quick. Click again. As you can see, we're just removing the car. And we'll grab a section from over here. As you can see, we could just clean it up just like that. Now you've removed stuff that no one even knows is there. If we even want to, you could come over here. Just kind of start to paint away that street sign. But then here we come into the issue where we're right up against this truck. So if we really want to, go with a smaller brush right here. I'm just selecting different points by holding Alt. So this way we don't have the same pattern showing up, to make it look realistic, like there wasn't just a giant sign there, so it looks like some actual leaves. Another thing we can do is we can get rid of that giant dirty spot by selecting another piece on the barrier and just painting it in. Doing the same right there, painting it in. Say we didn't want that sewer grate there, or drainage grate. I don't know what there are on the highways because they're not really sewer. And you just kind of paint it away. So now it's just a standard barrier over here. If we want, we can even get rid of this car over here. So now we don't have those headlights coming in from the rear. As you can see, we're just pulling and pushing stuff out of the background's foreground to really make this image cleaner. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tackle getting rid of this truck. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my lasso tool. I'm going to use the polygon lasso. I prefer the polygon lasso over the pen tool. I just feel like I have better control with it. We're just going to outline this truck right here. We're going to select the mirror. We're going to ignore the moire that's happening with the truck right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our clone stamp tool again. And this is going to require a little bit more pulling and pushing of data and stuff like that to really clean this up. So we're just going to select a smaller section right here. I grab right up by this curb. See, then we can even just take little sections to clean up so we don't have duplicates of the grass. Next thing we're going to do is we're just going to be grabbing some leaves and stuff, kind of piling them in. And then we're going to deselect that layer. Now you can see just how well everything blends in. It looks super, super natural. You don't see everything that's in the way simply just by selecting data that's already in your image using the clone stamp tool. You can get rid of a lot of stuff. So if I really wanted to, I could come across here. I could even remove the sky. If I really wanted to, we can get rid of the sky. But I think this looks great as it is. We removed a bunch of the image that was distracting. So the three cars actually. So the headlights, the overpass car, the street sign, the two street signs actually, and the truck headed the opposite way on the highway. We also removed the closed sewer grate so your eye doesn't drift there. So when we turn this on, your eye mainly stays right on this truck because that's our subject here. And with just a simple, we're going to do an Instagram crop, which is just a standard 1x1. And we're just going to use it to fill the frame. I'm going to angle it actually so we don't really catch too much of the upper section here. We're still getting a lot of this smoke and stuff coming through. I'm pull this in really, really close. Almost to the point where the Ford logo is almost centered. There you go, just like that. And there's our Instagram image. So it really looks like, especially with the angle I put on the crop, it's making the truck look like it's going uphill. So it's looking like it's putting out a lot more power. It's a great image. If I really wanted to further do this image, we would dodge and burn and stuff like that to really make that forward glass, as you can see. If we do this on that windshield, it's really going to start to darken it out, almost like it has tint. It's going to remove that sky glare. So you see what that does. Just like that. Makes the truck pop a bit more. You can even do it right on the logo here. You can dull out the headlights so they're not so bright. But if we really want to, we can also lighten up the side of the truck, the bumper as well. Lighten up the tires, although the tires should be dark because they are rubber. Lighten up the wheel wells, lighten up the undercarriage. And just from some random dodge and burn, you guys could see we really pulled this image together a lot better than what it initially was. It's more of a focused image with the subject clear in view. And that's how you use the clone stamp, guys. Simply select an area of the image you wish to use and put it where you want to remove an object. You can even adjust the hardiness of it so that it's a very, very rough edge. If I wanted to, say, take this this mirror and put it here, you could see how hard the edge is right there. So if we take that and we reduce the hardiness, and we're going to keep that same spot, so we're going to click right on this mirror here, you can see how feathered it is. So it's very, very soft around the edges, which helps with blending in your surroundings. Or if you're looking to strictly remove a section, you can use that also by varying the size. Helps as well. If you guys did find this tutorial helpful in any way, shape, or form, please hit that like button. Drop a comment down below on what you think could be improved upon in this video, or a topic for next week's Studio Saturdays. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next Saturday.